Salutations, this is Degenerate. Now, I am going to be doing an ongoing video series now. Basically what this is called the creation of a song. I thought it would be cool if I basically recorded myself doing everything from songwriting to production to all that kind of stuff, so you could just kind of learn everything. I thought if you're new to this, you might learn a few things. If you're one of those people who knows everything in the world about everything that's ever existed ever, then you might want to try and blame me a little bit and troll me, but hey, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So let's get on with this. I'm going to explain a little bit what I'm doing. I'm going to improvise a lot of this. I'm going to start off with the guitar. I've got a couple riffs that I'm going to kind of throw around with, and then I'm going to try and program some drum beats based on what I've recorded to a click track. This is different to how I normally do it. I normally do it by programming all the synths and drums and stuff like that and fitting guitars around it, but this isn't actually a System Degenerate song. This is a new thing that I'm doing, so this should hopefully be quite interesting, quite new for me. So yeah, doesn't even have a name for this, it's in its infancy, but this should be an ongoing series and I'll try and get it done every week. Can't promise that, but I'll start off by taking you through what I'll be recording with. Okay, so this is essentially home recording on a rather massive budget, and when I say massive budget, I don't mean massive budget, I mean this is on a budget massively. So this is essentially what I've done. I've described this in other videos before, but I am one to repeat myself because I have really bad memory and bad English. I don't know how to do the English or how to speak. Anyway, I'm going to be going into my pedal board with my Chapman ML1, one of them anyway. And I'm going to just be using my overdrive, my noise suppressor today. That's going into my Orange Micro Terror, which is being run DI into the laptop, and as you will see later on, I will be doing some fancy things on the laptop to create the cab effects, because miking those things up right now is not an option for a variety of reasons I can't bother to go into. So anyway, I will cut to the filming of that. Okay, I am in C# tuning with my Dunlop Ultex, and I'm about to go. This is like the 4th time I've tried this because I've had various issues with recording so far, so hopefully this time will work. Okay, so now I've recorded all that, what remains, apologise if the camera work is jerky, I'm doing this by hand by now, make all the jokes about that you want. I'm going to be going through this track and I'm going to cut out everything that I don't play on. So it's basically just pure audio. And it would really help if this mouse thing was working, or if I could click on the right thing and just not be an idiot for once. There we go. So as you see, I'm just going to remove that because that's basically just empty noise. The reason I do that is because when I run it through all the software rigs in a minute, that's going to add a load of noise and latency and stuff like that. So this is kind of the thing to do. Now this is going to take a while, so I'm probably not going to film myself doing all of it, but I'll just give you a little example of how this sounds now. So what we're going to do then, what I'm going to do rather, and you're going to watch me do, passive, go for it, is just to remove some stuff, and it'll, I don't know, some people think that adds life to it, but it's for a practical purpose, I assure you. And there you go, and I'm going to do it for the rest of the track, and then I'll come back to filming. Okay, I got that rhythm guitar track now, and I have pasted this 4 times. Now I'm not actually going to be doing this for the entire thing. This is just the rhythm guitar, because I think that the more multi-tracking you do, sometimes the heavier you can end up sounding it, provided you do it clearly and cleanly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this first track here to the right speaker. I don't go all the way to the right, I don't know if you can see that, I just go most of the ways to it. Track underneath to the left. Let's bring it up a bit. Track underneath to the right. Track underneath to the left. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paste this one more time. There, so that's 5 tracks. I'm going to keep that one mono, so it's going through both speakers, and I'm not even going to add any overall rig effects to that one. That's going to be the pure take as it is now. So at the moment this is going to sound horrible because there's no cab, so sounds pretty nasty, pretty biting. So I'm going to reduce some volume on these too, because they're way too loud right now as it is. They're clipping, as you probably saw there. And let's turn that one down too. Now for this top one, I'm going to go into this wave shaper here, and I'm going to set that to a preset I've made, which is a really aggressive high pass filter up like that, as you can see. I'm going to add another one of these wave shapers, and I'm going to go into this one, which is a slightly more subtle low shaper. This balances out the sound quite nicely. I've just got rid of something I didn't mean to get rid of. I'm clicking on the wrong stuff. I'm going to add some compression, and I'm just going to go with a guitar effect on that. And now I'm going to stop deleting things that I need. I'm going to go into my rig software when it wants to load up. There we go. And I am going to add in a cab for it. So I think what would be a good cab, if for this one at least, because it was recorded on orange, I'll try and get this to simulate an orange cab. Put a bit of air into the mic, maybe balance out the condenser dynamic bit there. And now this one on its own will sound like this. Now that on its own doesn't sound particularly powerful, but I'm going to use the same presets for this one. I should say actually on the wave shaper the presets are ones I made myself. These are not just ones that came with it. I don't think it came with anything with it. I had to actually do that, but that's just fine. And compression, so we'll set that to a guitar. Looking at a black screen, but that is actually set to the guitar compressor now. And this one, I think what might sound kind of cool is if we use a Fender style amp, or cab rather. Set the same mic dynamics, get rid of that, these two together now. Alright, so that's sounding cool. We're getting there, we're definitely getting there. So once again, add these same presets. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through 4 of these 5 tracks doing this. The 5th track I'm just going to add the compression and the wave shapers on. I'm not actually going to bother putting any guitar rig software on that. But then I'm going to mix it all afterwards. So I'm going to just cut this video short for now because it'll be tedious if you watch me doing that. But effectively I'm going to set this one now to kind of record on probably a Marshall type cab. We'll see what that sounds like. And then I don't know, I'll go through them all and I'll try and find some cool sounding stuff and then we'll cut back. So yeah, in a biz. Okay, so what I've done then, I've done everything I said I was going to do. I've added a bit of compression to this last track. Now the overall things, what I've added down here, I've added a bit of reverb, some light reverb, just to kind of gel the track together. Some compression, which is just a guitar compression right now, basic one, because this is just a guitar track, there's no other instruments. And I've also added a mid boost to the EQ. So now, and that's how it sounds. So I'm going to mix this down and we're going to have a guitar track, and then I will put it into another one of these DAW files so I can program in some drums.